We're very, very proud to introduce to you Professor Turker Özdegan, who's been a special, special friend of the Kennedy family for a number of years. He's a professor of, matter of fact, I think he might be the director of the Department of Art and Sculpture at George Washington University. He's driven down especially for this, and we're so pleased to have him. He will be followed by the Blue Star Dance Troupe, a wonderful group of Turkish dancers who will be performing here. And on behalf of the Kennedy family, on behalf of Brent Kennedy, Turker Özdegan.
Today I will try to tell you something that is maybe you didn't know much about it, especially Melungeon history. My dear brother Brent Kennedy and I worked on this issue almost last 15 years. His theory with my support, and he put me to Melungeon Heritage Society's research committee. And with this committee, we worked pretty hard to make more and more connections with this indigenous, with this very special people. We call Melungeon in Turkey, you call it here Melungeon. Our theory was Spaniard and Portuguese sailors' introduction to this scene, but we couldn't find any Spanish-Portuguese connection except Spanish and Portuguese sailors brought some Ottoman sailors to this new discovered land. We worked from this point, and I think until lately our findings were Sir Francis Drake's conquering some Ottoman ships and bringing some prisoners to the American continent. This is recognized, as a matter of fact, in Turkish archives and the American archives. They mention the same thing. In Turkish archives, called the Murat Reis lost his ship and his people altogether to the British. This we knew, but the one ship or two ships are not the big issue. From the one or two ships getting 100, 200 prisoner shouldn't be the only group to start the Melungeon connection. And then I went to the Turkish archives and had a much better connection, which is, I will try to explain this to you now, and you may also be pretty much aware. One of the world's largest navy battle was made between Ottoman Turks and we call it Crusaders, but at that time called the European Navy, organized navy against Ottoman Navy. This is the basically, according to the American and the Turkish documents, they were Spanish, Republic of Venice, Papal State, Republic of Papa, Pope's Vatican, basically, Republic of Genoa, Duchy of Savoy, and also Knights of Malta. This group all got together and they established a big navy fleet and against Ottoman. The reason for it was Ottoman Empire, when on the 16th century, when they were one of the greatest in the world, and they conquered Cyprus, and because of Cyprus issue, European panicked, and they established a gigantic fleet to battle the Ottoman and destroy them. And at the same time, Ottoman ship, the fleet was at the port called Inebahtı, which is the European calls Lapontu. Lapontu was the ships were landed there, and they weren't expecting any kind of attack because the Ottoman admiral wasn't a good sailor, and unfortunately he didn't realize the Crusader navy was coming, and there was a confusion there. Then they tried to leave the port. They couldn't succeed, and there was a big battle. It took 5 hours, and considered one of the world's largest navy battle. Year 5th of October 1571. I consider that date was the starting date for Melungeon history, because in this battle most of the Ottoman ships were burned and sunk, and except one little group was saved, called Uluç Ali Pasha or Reis, and he didn't believe the Navy commander's order. That's why he left. He said, we are going to lose this battle, I better take my ships and leave to distance. And according his records, and also according to Ottoman records, we lost 20,000 sailors, and 10,000 were caught as a prisoner. And we know that those people were caught by mostly Spanish armadas, and they were taken to first Europe, Spain, Portugal. Then a few years later, or maybe same year, they were used as a, not slave, but as prisoner to American continent. They brought them to Caribbean islands. In the Caribbean islands, they were prisoners. They were very, not very happy people, and they spoke nothing but Turkish. Their appearance and everything was pretty different, outfit, everything. But suddenly, Caribbean islands were captured by British. Because of the British conquer,